Hi, hello, welcome to the Old Geezer's Diary on the evening of Monday the 16th of March 2026. I was going to actually spend a couple of hours today editing the video that I shot yesterday at Harwich, whereas I think you'll probably remember I had a great day out. I really enjoyed it and I was going to share quite a lot of that with you. But today my complete day went totally up the tube. I don't know what happened to it. Well, I do, I'll tell you. I had a nice letter from the AA. They said, we can insure your car for 400 quid. And I went, what? And I got on the phone. About half an hour later, or maybe nearer an hour, I guess, the nice lady said, well, that'll be £1,057. And I said, what? You sent me a letter saying it was going to be 400 nicker. Last year, my insurance cost about 500 quid from Tesco's, which I thought was okay. It was 480, something like that. And bearing in mind the sudden rise in car insurance costs, I wasn't too bothered. This year, Tesco sent me a quotation for renewal of around £710. And I thought, oh, bloody hell. When I got that letter from the AA, it made me pause and ring them, obviously, but in actual fact, it wasn't anywhere near the figure they could have given me, and they wasted an hour of my time. There you go. I've got time. But in the end, what I did was went back to confused.com, and I discovered that there were one or two small kind of odd companies doing insurance for my situation in my car for about £500 plus. And I didn't like the look of any of those. So I thought I'd forget that, keep going. And once I got away from those companies, I found that the average price was around 700 quid for a year's insurance on my kind of car with my kind of me. And I just thought, what the hell is going on here? So in the end, I thought, well, better the devil you know. And I rang Tesco's and said, what about it? And Tesco's did my insurance for about 700 and odd quid, 750, something like that. And I thought, what the hell, if all the other guys are doing it for that, that's what I'll do. So that was probably 10:30, 11:15. There you go. So there you go, isn't it? And then I opened my second letter, and it was a nice letter from the council tax people, who said, this is your situation, what do you want to do with this, and where are you, and what are you doing? So I had a long chat with a nice lady there. I quite enjoyed it, actually. She was quite helpful and nice. And I've got my new poll tax, council tax thing sorted out, hopefully. It's interesting, because I on my own, am coming from quite a large flat to a very small flat, and it looks like my overall tax community charge is going to be probably around half of what it would have been. So we'll see, but I should get a letter on that soon. I'll actually tell you when I get it, and you'll be able to see. What happened next? Nothing much. I sort of bludged around for a while, half an hour or so, and tidied up, but by this time it was quite comfortably gone midday, and I decided I ought to walk into town and sort out my bank. So I've got two banks in Felix. So one is a building society, the other is a building society, one small, one big. But anyway, I went in the local small building society, or I went to go there, and on the way I tripped up on the bloody curb. And I created a scratch in my glasses. I don't know whether you'll be able to see this. Can you see that? I don't know whether you can. Oh yeah, I can see it. Just about where my eye actually is. You can see a little scratch. But that's a scratch in my glasses. I nearly landed on my eye. What the hell? And you can probably just see a little mark on my hooter there, where my left. Good job I got a big nose, isn't it? Because it hit the ground first and broke my fall. But I bashed my hand as well. So I am wounded. I walked from where I tripped over about 300 or 400 yards to the local accident and emergency in Felixstowe Hospital, where the ladies, the nurses, took mercy on me. They didn't actually have to see me because you should get an appointment through your local GP. But in fact, I went in and said, "Hello, can you help?" And they did. And they cured my bleeding hand, put some bleeding bandages on it, and I also had some bandages put on me left knee. It all goes on, doesn't it? So by the time I got done, I rushed off. Well, no, I didn't rush actually. I hobbled off towards my building society, where there was just time before they closed because we're a little branch of a local building society, and on Mondays they close at 2 o'clock. So at about 2:10, we got my change of address done. Then I walked down to the bank, which is pretty normal, and they took literally 3 or 4 minutes to do it. And then I went to the opticians to get my lens sorted out. And I said, "Can you just grind it down? We used to grind down glass, didn't we, when people were making lenses?" And no chance, they said. "You have to have a new lens made." I said, "Okie doke, we have to, don't we?" And because it's plastic apparently. And I've got a new lens coming, 110 nigger. But it's going to take a week to get to me, but I'm pretty happy with that, because at least I'll be able to see properly without this bloody annoying little shadow in the middle of my eyesight. Because this eye isn't particularly brilliant. This eye works jolly well, but I'm so glad that I managed to keep this eye going anyway, despite my little fall. And there you have it, and that was my day. And then I came home, did some dinner, here it is, and thought, bloody hell, I'm lucky to have got away with all that then, really, because, I don't know, I've just about had it. So tomorrow I'm going to edit that video. Amazing. And I love Harwich, and I hope you love it as much as I do. It's a funny little place. I lived there for a couple of years, many years ago, and I'll show you the house that I lived in. It was a 17th century house, and I will remember, I hope until the day I die, that one day the rain fell down from the heavens and it ran down the inside of my wall, bedroom wall. And apparently the downpipe came down, as it does, and then it went under the pavement. And apparently when people pulled their cars and lorries onto the pavement to park, they squashed the pipe and blocked up the downpipe. And what happened, of course, was that the water overflowed and came down the wall. And because it was an old building, it went through on the inside of the wall. That's amazing. I didn't know that even happened, but it was disconcerting. So there you are. What I've done today is loads of stuff that I had to do, but what I'm doing, with your respect, is making excuses for why I didn't do the bloody editing. I'll get round to it tomorrow. Okay, I'm Chris. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little walk through the Black Forest with me, or the walk through being 80 with me. I've fallen down twice. This is the second time in about 8 years, so perhaps I'm really over the hill now. Thanks for watching if you have been. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon, hopefully tomorrow.